Hey guys, it's Rob with SBC. We just picked up this Inferno Gray CVOST last week from Twin City Harley. They're a good company to do business with. We buy a lot of bikes from them, do a lot of business with them. So if you're looking for a new bike, head over there to TCHD, check out what they have. Toby's gonna give a walk down of putting our adjustable brake arm on, kind of break it down with the different settings. He's going to add some other red parts to this thing. Other than that, stay tuned.
So we got brand new 2026 ST here, new shop bike. And since everything's stock, it's a great platform to show you guys exactly how the brake arm goes on. I know we get a lot of questions all the time about install, adjustability, all sorts of crazy stuff. So this is the time. We're going to start by taking off the stock footboard mounts. You're going to take out the master cylinder bolts here, and then this 5/8 nut, and that should pretty much get you to where you need to be to finesse it out so you can get to that pin and washer on the back of the pivot of the brake arm. So let's get into it. All right, so like I said, we just took off the stock floorboard brackets. This is a 5/8 nut that needs to come off, 2 Allens, and then you're pretty much set up. It helps to move this oil cooler cover up just a little bit. If you're at home doing it in your garage for the first time or not super experienced with some of this stuff, you might want to take off the crash bar, but you don't necessarily need to. Also, like on this platform with stock everything, I will tell you it's a little bit tougher to do with stock head pipes. If you get into some of the aftermarket stuff, it's nicer. They got tighter bends. They got more room. Things are higher up. Sometimes they don't have heat shields, so could be easier for you. Could be tough. We'll do the toughest one for you guys. You are going to be reusing a lot of these stock components. Nut, washer. There's 2 O-rings. One's in here, one's on the inside. You want to make sure you don't lose those. After we get this off, we're going to show you how to press out or punch out the stock pivot bushing. It's just plastic, super easy to get out, nothing crazy. And then, yeah, like I said, you'll reuse a lot of stuff. The cotter pin back there, if you have taken it out before, probably get a new one. I would say every time you use them twice, it's game over. You're probably supposed to replace it every single time you unbend it and bend it back. But my experience, you can get 2 bends out of it before it breaks. So definitely keep an eye on that as well. Now, as you can see, I pulled that out pretty much. Oh, there goes that O-ring I was telling you not to lose. Everything's loose right now and ready to basically come out. It's super tight down in here, like crazy tight where the pivot is. Obviously, you can scratch and do all sorts of horrible things. The little trick we do, since we do a lot of installs and rally installs and stuff like that, you're going to want to watch your front banjo bolt on your crash bar. This is where I was saying if you're not comfortable with it, take your stock crash bar off. It just alleviates and gets you a lot more room. Since I've done a few, I'm just going to kind of show you here. So I keep my finger in here just to help, you know, not hit anything. You can put a rag in here, whatever you want. I'm pushing forward to get my slack in here to get clearance to be able to slide this off of the actual shaft. So like I said, it ain't the prettiest operation here, but and there you go. So didn't really hit anything crazy. Like I said, you move that, you got a lot more room. There's a hard line back here. Obviously, you don't want to kink it, bend it, do anything crazy. So about as far as I just relieve that, that's about as far as you need to go. Your next step, this is that cotter pin I was talking about, if you want to come look at it on the back side. That's all that holds it on. So there's a cotter pin, there's a washer, and then obviously this slides out. Make sure you don't lose the washer. And then the cotter pin, like I said, you probably should replace it every time. If for some reason you have an Arlen Ness brake arm, some of these other aftermarket ones, they're going to come with like solid bushings in here that are brass. You're not going to be able to get those out. So before you order this, if you know you have something like that or something aftermarket and you're questioning it, A, you can call us, reach out, whatever. B, we carry these bushings in stock almost all the time. We also carry the cotter pins and some of the nuts, because again, with nests and stuff like that, you're not going to have your stock nut, your stock washer. So definitely hit us up. I got all sorts of stuff for you. Or if you even have a question and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work, hit us up. We got you, dude. All right, I'm going to take this off, bend this cotter pretty much. Try not to just completely mangle the thing, but just directly at you and lost it probably. Oh, there it is on the floor. So there it is. Fully out, uninstalled. So this is the other O-ring back there that you don't want to lose. Obviously, it's usually not going to... Right back there. There you go. Big old thumb in the way or something.
Yeah, I'll see it. Go ahead.
So this is that other O-ring in the back. You want to keep that in there for stock retention. These two O-rings basically are just there to help keep dust and dirt out of the grease on the pivot shaft. So now that we got the stock arm off, I'm just going to show you quick a little trick that I use to get the bushing out of here. They are just two plastic bushings. It's nothing crazy, so don't freak out. Take pretty much any 5/8 socket. I like to put a little extension on there just so I don't blast my hand right off. And there's one. Whoops, and there's two with bolts flying everywhere. These two are going to go back into our pivot. So this is another kind of critical point, I guess, for you. These will go in there pretty much like hand press, like that. You're going to want to go like right up to the end of where the chamfer is. So this chamfer is designed to hold the stock O-ring, again, just to keep dust and dirt out of there. And they're pretty much finger press, nothing crazy. Don't be too worried about it. If you have like some lithium grease or whatever and yours is older, not a brand new model, I mean, this thing's still sauced up, hasn't even been pushed twice, but on an older model, you might want to throw just a little bit on there. Don't be gooping it on or anything. Like, you shouldn't even see any sitting on the shaft. Just slide it up and down on there and you'll be good to go. All right, so now we're just going to assemble the brake arm. There's two positions that everybody's always wondering how you get it to those or what the difference is. The main thing right now, and going forward, we're going to have like numbers or dots or something on here just to make it a little bit simpler for everybody. But you basically just want to look and see where the 3, 3, and 3 holes are. So you're going to take the pivot arm. You want the shoulder of it to hang out towards the motor, and line up this top hole right here with this third hole, I would say, to the left. So this position, once you bolt these in, you're going to be using a 5/32. You're going to put Loctite on, put your bolts in, and then on the front side, you're going to put the arm on. It really can only go one position on the front. The back is where all the adjustment is. So it's going to look similar to that. So this position would technically be your low setting. This one's going to be for the rider who likes the brake pad like just above the board. That was the main idea behind the design, where you didn't have to like lift your foot to put it on the brake every time. You can just pivot your heel and brake. So that's going to be that one. They'll line up the holes. I mean, you can kind of see, you know, these need to be mostly vertical. I know it looks high now, but it'll be way different on the bike. We'll show you shortly. All right, so before obviously anything goes back in, this is why we take it out, because these are always fun to deal with. Put the pin back in here. On the flip side, don't lose your little washer. And put your cotter pin back in. Try not to shoot it at your cameraman. So cotter pin's in. Right now I'm not going to bend it because we're going to show you guys the other positioning. But again, same deal. So when you're going in, you know, keep something, either rag or whatever, up front to protect the banjo from blasting anything, and just kind of push that forward so it's not going to hit your heat shield is the main goal here. This is back in. Everything's good. We're going to put our bolts back in that hold the master in. Don't forget to put your O-ring back in, your washer, Loctite your nut on. We'll put all this stuff together. we'll show you what it looks like with the boards back on, and then we'll go to the other position. All right, so now we got our brake arm back on pretty much together. These are the stock mounts from the ST. We were pretty much the first people to come out with the floorboard. The shorty goes directly on the stock mounts. And then the only difference is your stock bolt that comes with your minis is the super long one. Your set's gonna come with the new smaller ones. It's actually the OE hardware from the old ones. So put these on there. We're just gonna show you the setting. Again, this is the low setting of the brake arm. So give you guys an idea of how high it is actually. I'm gonna grab the arm here. One tool you're probably gonna wanna have when you're doing this is a 1/4 inch ball end. It doesn't have to be an extended reach, but it helps just to get in here to get this bolt tight without marring anything up. And then we have a nut and bolt. So we got a nylock nut. We have a slot on the back. That's what allows you to have that 1 inch of travel. So put it in the slot in the back. Put your bolt in the front. For starters, usually I'll just hand thread it. I do this part second, like not from initial install, because you're gonna adjust it anyway. The pivot, the height, everything. So no need to put it all together and have to do it twice. And then make sure, obviously, you're putting blue Loctite on everything. So again, this is where this ball end comes into play. Now, this is the low setting. Like I said, the original idea behind this design was to have, your foot's here. You really honestly just need to swing your toe over. You could have this a little bit flatter. Just swing your toe over. You're not picking it up and hinging and binding up your ankle like the stock height is. So this is the low setting. I have this all the way out right now on the 1 inch travel. It can go even lower. It's amazing. Like if you're into aggressive riding like we do, I love it. You're not worried about lifting your toe up super high or anything like that. It's just right there every time you want it. So this is the low setting. This is a good visual for stock exhaust of where it's actually positioned. You can run it with the stock boards. You can run it with full-size boards if you change out the bracket. Again, these are our shorties, so they're direct bolt-on. And then next up, we're going to show you guys the more standard position. It's a little bit higher. I know some of you guys like to put your boots or shoes under the brake arm, so I'll show you that position next, and you can run it either way. All right, now that we got the low setting pretty much shown and how to do that, the key to getting this to the OEM or higher setting is actually going to come down to the pivot block. So again, we're going to talk about the 3, 3, and 3. That's on one side. If you flip the pivot block over, this side has just all evenly spaced holes. So if you want to run it on the OEM or higher setting, this side is going to go towards the motor. The 3, 3, and 3 is going to be towards the front. And you're going to put the arm on, let's call it the first hole of any triple set to the front, or the first hole to the right, I should say. So you'll do that. Let's just put a bolt in there to hold it. Then on the back side, you're going to spin this around. You're just going to line this up with whichever one gets that pivot right past the arm. You know what I mean? Obviously, you can't have it like that straight up and down. But the next one over that the holes line up, that's going to be your OEM style setting. So it's a lot more straight up and down than the low setting. We'll go put this on the bike so you guys can see how it is relative to the footboard and everything like that. And this will be that setting for you guys that like to run your foot under the brake arm usually. I know a lot of guys like to do it with their boots and their shoes and stuff like that to stretch out. So we'll show you how this looks. All right, now we're back. We got everything buttoned back up. This, again, is going to be on your OEM setting. We'll call it the OEM Plus setting. It's a little bit higher. Well, it's actually a lot higher. If you look at it in comparison to the exhaust and the floorboard, it's much higher. Like I said, this is the one for the guys that like putting their boots and their shoes under it. You still have that full inch of travel here. You can pivot it whichever way you want. A lot of guys will run on the top setting, pivot it, towards your boot, obviously. But on this setting, you're kind of back to lifting your ankle up and having the angle, but I get it. Guys like their stuff how they like it. So that's why we made it fully adjustable. Obviously pairs amazing with our ST CVO shorties, and comes in all of our great colors, raw, black, red. As you can see on Rob's bike, we did a black arm with a red peg. You can do a raw arm with a black peg. There's so many different color combos. Just hit us up if you want something like that. A lot of it's not available in the crazy combos on the site, but we're willing to make things work for you. So hopefully everything's explained in here. If you got any questions, like always, hit us up, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Later.